Now, speaking of trees, at the very end of the last show, I said we would talk about the whole apple tree thing, Adam and Eve. Let me just tell you my take on it really quickly. Now, you've learned about how the tree represents wisdom, higher learning, higher knowledge, the goddess, nourishing, fruit, nourishing the spirit, nourishing the soul, the goddess, the goddess, the goddess. Now, if you have a patriarchy that comes in and wants to discredit and disempower, don't you think it would be incumbent upon them to then flip the script in the story and make it seem as though the woman was offering evil to the man, when in fact the original story had to do with the goddess, the women offering wisdom. The Rehuit were the ones who held the wisdom. They were the wise women. And they were connected to trees as well. They would honor the goddess and decorate outdoor trees and offer a great deal of wisdom and healing to the community. I had a conversation with my friend Courtney Weber, who you met in the Pagan Proud episode, and she is a high priestess as well. And so we had a conversation, high priestess to high priestess, and I asked her what she thought about this whole Adam and Eve tree story. Let's see what she had to say. Oh, by the way, since we're talking about nourishing goddesses, and nourishing goddesses can be found in every indigenous culture on the planet, I should tell you that Courtney invited me to her coven's Imbolc ceremony, I-M-B-O-L-C, which celebrates the nourishing, powerful goddess Bree. She's known as Bree, as Brigitte, and also as Brigid and Brige. She's Celtic, but in Vodun culture, where she was embraced also, she is known as Maman Brigitte. Come on with me as I talk to Courtney afterwards. We're so pleased to be back with Courtney Weber, who is the high priestess of the novices of the Old Ways Coven, and you met her in the intro show, Pagan Proud. We're glad you're back. How are you today?
I feel good. We just finished Imbolc.
Amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. Let me tell you, I had makeup on when I came here. I cried it all off. It was just an amazing, powerful, beautiful ritual. Oh yeah. Tell everybody about what Imbolc is. Imbolc, how's the proper way to say it?
I understand that it's pronounced Imbolc, and it literally means of milk. Or in the ancient Irish tradition, it was when the cows and the ewes would begin to give milk. You have to remember that this part of Europe, at this time in history, we're talking pre-Christian history, there wasn't a lot of fresh food this time of year. So what was left were potatoes and roots that had been stored. If there was any bread, that might have been it. There were no vegetables, very few, there were really very few of any meat products. When the cows and the ewes would start to give milk, it meant that there was fresh food for the first time since, October. It was a sign the light was finally beginning to return. In contemporary paganism, we celebrate it as a time to uplift us from the winter blues. Seasonal depression is at its peak. A lot of our New Year's resolutions have already started to show themselves as the bigger tasks or the impossible tasks that they really are. And end of January, early February is traditionally a very depressing time for people, even in a country and a period of world history where there's plenty of food to eat, meaning the United States of America in 2010. Not like that everywhere, but at least in this country there is food to eat if you need it. Imbolc happens, we know the worst is over. Things are going to start to get better, weather-wise, emotionally, spiritually.
Tell us about Bree.
The best translation we have is the goddess of the land. She was the Great Mother, Bridget. She merged her pre-Celtic Irish traits, which we no longer have, with the Roman traits when they moved north and became Brige. She has a maiden, a mother, and a crone face. In contemporary paganism, those three faces are the Catholic Saint Bridget, who is a virginal deity of milk, of midwives, of childbirth, of healing. There is the goddess Brige, who is the mother goddess of fire, of smithworking, of creativity and passions and drive. And I have found the crone face of the contemporary Briege is the Haitian Loa Maman. We invoked all three of them tonight in this little apartment in Harlem, and we had ourselves a wild time.
Yes, we did. Oh, yes.
Especially coming after the earthquake in Haiti. Maman really needed some love. She needed to have a good time. She needed to have a party. She rode one of our crew members very, very hard.
Now explain what it means to ride someone.
To ride is an accidental possession. And we literally had a woman who was shaking, who was talking and saying things that there was no way she could have known, but she was speaking right to the people. We had people weeping in her arms. We had people, she was dancing around. We also invoked the Lord Dog Dove, the father of Briege.